And it gives me great pleasure to invite Peter McGuire, who's joining in from XM Australia. Thank you so much for taking time out. And we were discussing, where's your cricket jersey?
Well, I think that Australia, and good morning, ladies, and I think Australia, I don't know whether we'll win it, but we'll go very hard, and I think it'll be a very...
Be careful of what you say.
No, I'm going to be very careful. I'm very careful, but I'm going to put it out there. I reckon we'll get into the last four. So there we go. And where we move from there, I'm feeling fairly confident. So You've got to be confident. You've got to...
+1, same here. I'm sure we're going to make it to the last four.
You guys are the team to beat, so we'll just wait and see how it all rolls.
Are you here for the World Cup?
No, I'm not. I'd like to have stayed for a couple of, well, maybe a week or two, but unfortunately I've got a pressing schedule. But it's beautiful to be in lovely Mumbai again.
Not looking as beautiful for the yields, though. I mean, barring last night's volatility where they've retreated.
Sure.
And, you know, we were just chatting with Indranil, who's a renowned economist with CLSA India as well. He says that, you know, it's going to be on an upward trajectory.
Yes, I do truly think that, and I wouldn't be surprised to see some form of rate rise from the Fed come November. But certainly into 24 with higher energy prices and everyone's saying, you know, we're at 16, 17-year highs for the 2 and the 10-year. I think it's going to press higher from here. I read with great interest an article from Javier Blas, and he mentioned he's renowned commodity guru, and I follow him closely. And he said as the US dollar continues to uplift, and certainly crude prices, and that's going to be strong for dollar. And I really think that will be underpinned as far as rates as well. So you've got 24 is going to be dynamic. But let's get through to Christmas, because I think it's going to be some fireworks between now and then.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be on the minds of investors. And I'm sure also what's happening with crude oil prices, that overnight move that we witnessed, what do you make of it?
Yeah, it's just given up some hot steam. It really moved, incredibly over the last, say, 3 months to the upside. And markets get, when you see washouts like this, $8 and $9 moves to the downside within a week, that just shows you the volatility, profit taking, and the trade has been just one-way traffic for the last, say, 100 days. So that giving back a little bit of hot air, I still believe it's going to be stronger from here. And I think it's like any bull market, it just needs to retrace a fraction, get its breath again, and let's see where it moves. But I'm conscious of the big picture as far as, growth forecast being pulled back, and that doesn't surprise me into 24. So we've just got to get, again, through the next couple of months to get a real indication where we are.
You were just talking about yields, and I want to get back to that point. And you said expect fireworks in the run-up to Christmas.
Sure, I do.
So, I'm guessing you mean that the yield is going to escalate further.
Yep.
And if that happens, they're obviously not going to spell good news for equity markets.
No, you wouldn't think so. I mean, if you're getting 5.5%, risk-free, then you're going to be in equity markets. We've just seen a dramatic move in the first 8 months of the year with the Nasdaq. It was showtime and, quite extraordinary. Really, it was just mind-blowing, and it's taken a bit of hot steam out of that. I noticed the Dow's back to where it was. It has no movement for a year, since the start of the year, in the sense of that big move up, and then it's pulled back. This is the dilemma that traders and certainly investors have to be mindful of. When you've got high rates coming from the bank and it's risk-free, do you stay in a market or do you sit on the sidelines and look for opportunities? And this is where, if you're trading instruments, then you can be long, now, and in 2 hours' time you're short. So I'm just, I'm again watching with interest, because we've got to see where these earnings go for October. I want to, and October's traditionally a very volatile month. So we're only a couple of days in, ladies, and I think it's going to be, again, a lead up to Christmas is going to be dynamic. Do we see rate rises? Do we see an equity market pullback? We've just got to wait and see and let it wash over the market.
Since, India is so susceptible and sensitive to crude prices,
of course.
And, we've seen the spike all the way to 95 once again.
Yeah.
A retreat as well. What is the new normal for crude? Because, if left to the OPEC countries, the prices will be at higher levels.
200 a barrel.
Yeah. So, what is the real level that we can expect and we should learn to deal with?
I think over the next 6 months, I won't be surprised that 85 to, say, 105 is going to be the level. It's too hard to forecast if it goes much further than 105. But if you have geopolitical, you have weather outages, you have other issues that impact the market, those right of field sort of stuff, then that can have an adverse effect to price. you've had a boom. I mean, the US dollar is just, it's incredible at the moment, the strength of it. The only market that really hasn't sold off too big as in commodities has been pretty much crude, though it's taken a bit of a hit in the last couple of days. But yeah, I think that 85 to 105 handle is, and let's just see where it rolls between now and again over the next couple of weeks. But I think it's going to be fun, and that's what traders are after, movement.
It's going to be fun. Well, we'll have to see about that. But what about the outlook in terms of, the dollar index? I know you did touch upon it briefly,
Sure.
but given that, day after day, when we catch that ticker on the currency, our eyes practically pop out. And,
That is,
given
it's
that,
wild.
do you think it's going to be a sort of synchronized move with other emerging market currencies as well, with the strength in the dollar index?
I think it's probably got a 108, 109, and again, let's look and see. If you take it back to this time last year at 113, so I hope that it doesn't get to 113 because it'll crush every other currency, because it certainly has. If you're looking at the yen, looking at the pound, the Aussie, and you guys, and of course the euro. So I've just again got to wait and see. But if the Fed's going to be on the front foot and they look at raising of rates, and that sentiment washes across the market, then you would think over the next 3 to 4 months, then possibly it's got a 110 handle on it. It's been incredible as far as what we've seen in the last 2.5 months.
Yeah, quite a bit of unknowns out there. But Peter, great to have you in the studio today, and I hope you managed to catch at least one match.
Well,
They're
I hope
all
I
beginning
do.
Today.
Well, I reckon we'll get in the last 4, so we just got to see where we go. And you guys are the team to beat.
Same here. We will also be. Hope we play the final.
It'd be wonderful.
That'd be awesome.
I'd fly in for that.
Okay, see you then at the finals, Peter.